Hello, my dear students. Welcome to my channel Learn with Fun Only Comprehension. In today's video, we will discuss regarding reading comprehension analysis for UPSC CSAT 2025 question paper. So, out of 80, there were 29 questions asked for reading comprehension section. So, out of 29, as you can see, 13 questions from assumptions, 4 questions from central idea, 4 questions from critical messages, and 2 questions were asked for Crux. 1 question is from Corollary, and 1 question was from best explanation of the passage. 1 question was from most logical, rational, pragmatic message, and 1 question was asked by most logical, rational message. 1 question was asked from most logical, pragmatic message, and there was 1 question from more logical, rational, and crucial message. So these are the questions were asked in the last year CSAT 2025 question paper. So in today's video we will discuss regarding this, and we will also solve a few passages from the last year in today's video. As you can see, the assumptions questions dominated the paper. So out of 29, 13 questions from assumptions. So assumption based questions was dominated. Around 13 questions was asked from the assumptions. So what we can assume that, so assumption based RC questions, we need to focus more on that, and we need to practice identifying the hidden idea behind the statements. So assumptions are not directly given in the passage. We need to understand the hidden idea behind the statements. Again, we need to improve our logical interpretation instead of only speedy reading. So UPSC is increasingly testing critical reasoning skill through the passages. So UPSC is more focusing on critical reasoning, logical interpretation, and so that we need to read between the lines. We don't need to read hurriedly or in a fast pacing. We need to understand the meaning of the statements, the hidden part which is not given in the passage, while we are selecting the best answers for the assumption based questions. So this is the main takeaway we should keep in mind while solving the assumption based questions. So after this, we will solve a few questions from the last year question paper 2025. So before solving previous year questions, I need to give a few tips so that we can find the best answer. So while solving the reading comprehension, try to use deductive or elimination method. So in this, we need to focus what are the options we can eliminate based on the passage given. So those options which are out of scope of the passage or using extreme keywords or are not justifying with the passage given, the information given in the passage, we need to eliminate it. So second thing is we need to try to justify your option with the information given in the passage. Third thing is try to eliminate options which use extreme keywords. Fourth question is fourth thing is focus on information given in the passage. Do not use your personal knowledge while selecting the option. The fifth thing is try to eliminate the option which is out of the scope of the passage. That means we need to stick to the passage while answering the questions. So let's solve the previous year questions now. So the first passage is, we will read the passage first. So while reading the passage, try to use your finger as a pacer so you can focus more. So maintaining an ecosystem just to conserve biodiversity will affect its commercial potential as well as the livelihood dependent on the ecosystem. There is also a conflict between using an ecosystem only for livelihoods, for commercial exploitation, or strictly for conservation. Deforestation caused due to commercial exploitation will lead to indirect harm like floods, siltation problems, and microclimatic instability. Apart from adversely affecting livelihoods dependent on forests, these conflicts are particularly acute in developing countries where the dependence of people on the ecosystem is significant and commercial exploitation has the potential to boost national income. So we read the passage. So the first question based on the passage given. So the main idea of the passage, as we can see, the deforestation problem is discussed in the passage and its causes. So the first question is, which one of the statements best reflects the critical message conveyed by the author of the passage? So the critical message is nothing but the main message or the main subject which is discussed in the passage. So let's see the options now. The first option is, conservation of biodiversity is not an issue to be worried about when some people depend on ecosystems for their livelihoods. Commercial exploitation of forests goes against the fundamental rights of the people dependent on the forests for food and shelter. Third option is, sustenance of livelihood and degradation of ecosystem while being together exacerbate one another, leading to conflicts and imbalance. So the last option is, commercial exploitation of ecosystems should be completely stopped. So we will see the options one by one once again, and we will use, as I discussed before, the elimination method, and we will stick to the passage only while solving the questions, while selecting the answers. So and we will also eliminate the extreme words used in the options. So if it's the extreme keyword is given in the passage, then it's okay, but if it's given in the option, then we need to eliminate it, as in the most of the cases the extreme keywords used in the options are likely to be the incorrect statement. So we can eliminate it by justifying the passage. So the first option is, conservation of biodiversity is not an issue to be worried about when some people beyond an ecosystem for their livelihoods. So nowhere in the passage given explicitly that conservation of biodiversity is not an issue, as the passage is discussing about the deforestation and the causes, and we need to conserve our forests. So the conservation of biodiversity is not an issue, is nowhere explicitly mentioned in the passage. So we can directly eliminate this option. The second option is commercial exploitation of forests goes against the fundamental rights of the people dependent on forest for food and shelter. So again, the commercial exploitation of forest goes against the fundamental rights of the people dependent on forest for food and shelter. The passage is discussing about the deforestation and its effect on the livelihoods of the people, but there is nowhere mention directly. The fundamental rights of the people. So these are not directly discussed in the passage, are not given explicitly in the passage, so we can also eliminate this option as well. So the third option is sustenance of livelihood and degradation of ecosystem while being together exacerbate one another, leading to conflicts and imbalance. So as passage is itself discussing about the livelihood of the people and the livelihood of the people and the degradation of the ecosystem, so these are the two things are exacerbating, means intensifying each other, so which are leading to the conflicts and imbalance. So this is directly given in the passage. As we can see, the passage is discussing about the deforestation and its causes and how it's affecting the livelihood of the people, the indirect harms like floods, siltation problems, and the microclimatic instability as well. So this justifying the this option is justifying the information given in the passage, but we will keep it aside now for now, and we will move to the next option, the last option. So the last option is commercial exploitation of ecosystem should be completely stopped. So as the passage is discussing, the commercial exploitation has potential to boost the national income, and the last option is discussing about the commercial exploitation of ecosystem should be completely stopped. So as I said, the extreme keywords which are all, always, completely, every, must, so these are the words most likely to be incorrect when it's given in the statement. So we can also eliminate this option as well. So by eliminating C, B and A, we can come to the correct or best answer, that is sustenance of livelihood and degradation of ecosystem while being together exacerbate one another, leading to conflicts and imbalance. So this is the critical message which author wants to convey through the passage. Now let's move to the second question, which is based on the assumptions. So the first statement is, with reference to the above passage, the following assumptions have been made. The first statement is, no country needs to depend on ecosystem to boost national income. The second statement is resource-rich countries need to share their resources with those of scant resources so as to prevent the degradation of ecosystems. So these are the two statements given. So we need to select the assumption which is valid or correct. So we will see one by one. The statement first is, no country needs to depend on ecosystems to boost national income. So as the passage directly discussing about the commercial exploitation has the potential to boost national income, is dependent on ecosystem to boost the national income. So we can directly eliminate the first option based on the information given in the passage. So there is no mention of the no country needs to depend on the ecosystem to boost the national income. So we have eliminated this option. Now second statement is, rich countries need to share their resources with those of scant resources so as to prevent the degradation of the ecosystem. So as the passage is discussing about the conflicts are particularly acute in developing countries where the dependence of the people on ecosystem is significant. But there is no mention of resource-rich countries need to share their resources with those of scant resources as to prevent the degradation of the ecosystem. So again, by eliminating these two options, statement 1 and statement 2, by justifying the passage or the information given in the passage, we can come to the correct answer, that is option D. So by eliminating option A, B and C, we come to the option that is neither 1 nor 2. So as the first statement is also not valid and the second statement is also not valid as the information given in the passage. So I hope you have understood the first and the second question as we discussed. So if you have any queries, any doubts, you can ask me in the comment section. And in the next video, we will discuss regarding the remaining passages from the question paper, last year question paper. And if you are new to this channel, please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for the more informational videos like this. Thanks for watching.